Round one, you've been looking at players. Who do you like the Niners to go after in round one?
Okay, so there's two scenarios for me. If we trade BA, then I feel like BA will go for um 17 to 25, that in that range, as far as what teams and what compensation that we could get for him. If we go from 17 to 25, there's only two players, honestly, that I think that we should get. I think we should either get Amarius Mims or JC Latham.
Mm.
That's who we should get and go up and go get. I feel like getting one of those guys would lock away that position. And we have a guy in Amarius Mims and possibly JC that can switch over to the left side if and when Trent leaves the team. So that's what I would do if we traded for BA. If we traded BA, I would go up and go get a tackle. Now, if we didn't, I'm going best available at the position. If we're picking at 31, I don't want to go best available at the position for right tackle because I feel as though that this is a very deep offensive line draft. I said this all off season, go keep saying it. This is the deepest offensive line draft in the past 15 years. It's really that deep. And because of that, I feel like the Niners have like a welcome problem. They don't necessarily value the offensive line position. We know this. But they can kind of luck up because there's value in the areas where they usually go dumpster diving anyway, and they may
Mhm.
get guys that they need. So you really don't need if you're willing to go to bat with the offensive line that we went to the Super Bowl with, then I don't think that you have to reinvent the wheel and go with this high price player. I mean, and that would only be to supplant Trent. Now, if we don't trade BA and we pick at 31, I would say get the best safety available in Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota. I really like him. He's 6'1, 200 to 205 pounds, not necessarily a fast guy, so he's not a burner, but he's twitchy. Good 4.6 speed, 4.4 speed, 4.6 to 4.5 speed. He's a hitter, instinctual. He has so much range. I was actually looking at a little bit of film with him with Jesse the other day. And he's a little meld of Jair and Huff. He's as physical as Huff, comes down, fits run gaps. He's very instinctual as Huff, but he has all of the ball hawking skills of Jair Brown. And just give them a bigger skill set. Give that kid a bigger frame, put him at 6'1, 205 pounds. And I think that we legitimately have our plug and play free safety if we go there with Tyler Nubin. Now, if we don't go Tyler Nubin, I'd like to go Graham Barton. Also, Graham Barton will be highly ranked as one of the best center guard combos what we can have in there. And then we can have a natural position at center or guard coming into this season. So for the first round, if we trade up, go get our tackles, obviously. But if we don't, I would say stand pat and go get the best safety in the draft because that's what we need. We need value at that position, and getting the best at that position would be really good for us.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting to note with the Niners is how much they don't want to play rookies. It's
Mhm.
really not their first choice. Even with Jair Brown, who was really good last year, they kept him on the bench for a while. Even with Brock Purdy, who they knew was the best quarterback on the roster, like 3 days into him being with the team, they
Yeah.
made him wait because they do things the right way. I mean, they don't necessarily play the best players. They play the most experienced players. So look, if they're drafting in round one, there's no guarantee this guy's going to be starting year one. They may be looking to draft or fill needs a year down the line.
Mhm.
And it seems like, well, it doesn't seem like all the Niners corners are going to be free agents after this year. So maybe they're looking corner around one.
I wouldn't be mad at corner either. You got to follow the money, right, Grant? And Travarius Ward and Diamond Lenore are going to be unrestricted free agents next year.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I believe Travarius Ward, off the top of my head, I believe he's due to make $14 million this year.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not it's good money, but it's not number one corner money. He's going to be looking to make more, especially after the season that he had, and if he replicates it this year. I could see the Niners letting him walk and going
Mm-hmm.
to go get their replacement for him now in the draft. I could see, outside of us going to get the best corner, the best safety, I would see us drafting a corner really high, anticipating to probably keep Demo, right? He's a guy that we got later in the draft, and we developed him, so we could get a hometown discount for Demo. As a matter of fact, I feel like we could give him what we've given Mooney, even at a bigger discount, and he'd be happy with it. I mean, he's coming from humble beginnings, quite frankly. Those guys are easier to deal with when you start negotiating. They're happy just to be at the table. But you could see the Niners go get Charvarius Ward's replacement early in the draft this year. If they go DB early, and obviously they have a glaring hole at free safety. I don't like what they did at linebacker. I don't, it's pending on what the defensive line is going to do with the new guys that we brought in. But where there is a hole is safety. We do not have a free safety. So that's what I need. That's why I'm leaning towards safety in the draft or corner, right? Because there's they got Isaac Yadam. They have Darrell Luter Jr., Samuel Womack. I mean, there's guys over there, but we don't have a lockdown outside corner because I feel like Demo has pretty much locked himself in at nickel. So it's really
I don't know if you're going to get a lockdown corner at pick 31, but I am looking at the rankings on CBS, and the guy I was mentioning a couple of weeks ago, Cooper DeJean. I don't know how to pronounce his name. From Iowa. Yeah, I mean, he's played safety. He's played corner. He's supposed to be a good hitter. He's supposed to be good against the run. He's supposed to be real instinctual in zone coverage. He has a lot of picks. He's going to drop to the end of round 1 because he had an injury, and he's not probably suited to play top level man-to-man coverage, but the Niners want to play zone anyway. And he has big time special teams experience as a gunner and as a punt returner. He'd be a pretty solid pick at the end of round 1.
Where's his injury? Is it lower injury? Like, where's it?
I believe that's a good question. I don't think it's.
Can he run?
I don't think he ran.
Gotta run. You can't be a white
fracture
corner
fibula, so it's a bone.
I'm just saying, you can't be a white corner and not run. It's the biggest question of all time. You're a white corner. We got to see that 40. It is what it is. Come on, man. Like, you got to see that 40, bro.
It's true. I ran a 4.51 when I was 18, but it was on a track. It was on a track.
It was on cork.
Hand time? Yeah, it was on cork. Yeah, I think on grass I probably would have ran a 4.61, which isn't exciting. That's but I don't tell people that.
No, like honestly, all right. So 4.5, running a 4.5, running a 4.6 is fast.
Yeah,
that's fast.
That is fast.
Anything 4.5 and below, like 4.5 is you're one of the few people in the world that can run that fast, right? 4.4 is Olympics. Like you could run in the Olympics if you run a 4.4, right? 4.3, 4.2, that's world class speed. There's maybe like 200 to 300 people in the world that can run that fast. I don't think people understand just how unique 4.3, 4.2 really is. Because 4.4 is moving.
Yep. Slide 23 says, does Draymond's championships justify his podcast? No, because he hasn't been playing that well recently. So no. Fish and Chips, Coach, we signed a DB off a Mississippi Steamer. Okay. Denial says the only thing that will offset an Ayuk trade is an all-star caliber O-line. Anything less, I'm becoming a Green Bay fan. LOL, JK. They're not trading Ayuk. I don't know. It seemed like they made it. They wanted to tell everyone, look, we got this. Okay.
Well, BA just has no leverage.
No,
that's the main issue. He doesn't have any leverage. And if the Niners really wanted to be I don't know, mean or malicious, they could really just say, well, you know what? We're not paying you. You're playing this year. And guess what? Next year, we're gonna franchise you and put you in at 21 million. And then, like, what are you gonna do? Yeah. So he's not going anywhere for 2 years if the Niners don't want him to.
Agree. And it seems pretty clear that they don't want him to. So
yeah.